Okay, it's 11 already. We will start with our presentation. Good morning, everyone, and I welcome all the participants to the seventh webinar of Educo's webinar series. Next slide. So, Olympiad Odyssey is a webinar which tells you about types of competitive exams. One of the type is Olympiad, and in Olympiad, which subjects are uh, there in the website of SOF or Firefish or Bharat Olympiad or any other body that conducts Olympiad exam. There is a lot of confusion amongst the teacher that who conducts Olympiad exam, whether it is a private body or a government body, or how the results will be declared, what is the criteria, what is the syllabus. So all these queries we will be solving in today's session one after the other. Next. So far, we have done the webinars, and this is the statistics of the webinar. And we have 2000 plus registered teachers for all the webinar series. And I thank you all the teachers for registering and consistently attending the webinars. And our request is to share it with 5 teachers at least from your contact list. So every time we announce a webinar, please forward it to 5 friends of yours who are in the teaching field so that Educo's webinar family will slowly grow. Next slide, please. She's our founder trustee, Minal Srinivasan madam, with her vision to start a school for English medium. We started with 21 students and now we have 950 plus students in the heart of Mumbai city. We are running a school, Mumbai Public School, successfully. And also another vertical of Educo is teachers training. We have We are official partners of MCGM for teachers training, and we have trained already 5,500 plus teachers of MCGM, almost 1,200 schools. And now we have launched this webinar series from uh, February, March 2025. 2024-2025 for this academic year. We started with NEP 2020 webinar, and now we will be slowly taking it to the competitive exams. Next slide, please. You have attended Lalita Madam's session for NEP 2020 webinar and also for the lesson planning. Now I hand it over to her. She will give you all the details about English Olympiad exam, followed by that Sadhana Madam for mathematics and Sanchita and Pragati Madam for science. Thank you participants for joining the webinar series. I hand it over to Lalita Madam now. Ashish, make her co-host. Check once now. No.
Yeah, hello. Sorry for the delay. My name is Lalita Karve, and as Pooja introduced me, I've taken webinars for NEP and lesson plan. So, we are today here to talk about Olympiad, and I'll be leading the session for English Olympiad. So, thank you everyone for joining. Next slide, please. So as we have seen in the last sessions, if you remember, if you had attended the webinar on lesson plans, towards the end we talked about customized lesson plans. And in the last week, Pooja ma'am and Pragati ma'am had done the webinar on classroom management. So if you were there and you like, even if you're not there, can you type the kind of students or the type of learners that we have seen or that you come across in your school? So I would like some answers in the chat box that what were the different types of learners that we have seen in these two webinars, if you remember that. Okay, so let the answers keep coming and we move on to the next slide. So there were visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and there were some slow, some proficient, some progressive, and there were gifted learners also. There are rather. So for gifted learners at our school, we recommend them with the competitive exams such as Olympiad and scholarship. Scholarship is mainly for the MCGM schools, whereas for other CBSE, ICSE, and private schools, generally they go for the Olympiad exams. I'm not saying here hard and fast that only for gifted learners, but for them it will be an additional advantage, enrichment, if we give them the tools and techniques for appearing for such exams. Next slide. So today we'll focus on Olympiad exam as enrichment for students. So along with the exam pattern and everything, we'll also see how preparing for this exam will enhance the students' learning capacity. Next slide. So kindly type your response in the chat box. What Olympiad exams are there in your school? Or if you are parents of students, do your children attempt these exams? So kindly type your responses in the chat box. So different bodies are there. Yes, there are different subjects like maths, English, Olympiad. And what other bodies do you know of? SOF, exactly. Thank you for your answers. सो अलग अलग प्रकार के ओलंपियाड एग्जाम्स होते हैं. एक जो इंटरनेशनल मैथ्स ओलंपियाड होता है वो बहुत ही हाई लेवल का होता है. वो मैथ्स के बारे में आपको हमारे साधना मैम बाद में बताएंगे. तो आज अभी मैं जो बताने वाली हूँ वो है स्पेसिफिकली इंग्लिश ओलंपियाड के बारे में. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. Okay, so what are the different advantages or why we should make our students or children appear for Olympiad? Let us see one by one. First point. So first of all, they get international exposure because these competencies, they are of Cambridge level, okay, and they are these international core competencies that the exams are based on. So even like when they clear the state level and national level Olympiad, they also get selected. Like यहाँ पे कोई MCGM teachers है तो उनको पता होगा कि रशिया में अपने students ने represent किया था, तो उनको एक international exposure भी मिलता है. Next point. Benchmarking. So I hope you know the meaning of benchmarking. It's like all over the state. जैसे scholarship होता है तो हमारे बच्चे all over the state कहाँ पे rank करते हैं वो हमारा state benchmarking है. लेकिन Olympiad will be an international benchmarking. So on this point, I think Sadhna ma'am would like to explain better कि international forum में हमारा क्या benchmarking, कैसे हम उसको gauge कर सकते हैं. So Sadhna ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Lalita. So I would like to give you all this information that a few years ago, in the year 2009, India had participated in a program for international students assessment, and along with India, 73 other countries had also participated. Basically, this assessment is done for the 15-year-old students, and global standard was set for the competencies of a 15-year-old student. And the competencies which were tested here were language, maths, and science. And the result of that was that our country ranked 73 among 74. So I would not like to comment on the Indian education system, but definitely there is something amiss about our education system where our students at this level of 15 years of age are not coming up to the mark of the global level. So even if whatever syllabus is changing, curriculum is changing, whatever boards we have, students have an avenue to come to a certain level through competitive exams which are available for them. And one of them is the Olympiad exams, wherein the achievement of the Olympiad is not important, but the preparation and the process to reach towards a certain goal is definitely important. and students study in a very, very precise manner. They study in depth any subject, and hence as they go ahead in their school classes, or rather as they go from one class to another, they also find the school syllabus or the school teaching or the school exams also easy to deal with. So I feel that if students appear for Olympiad exams, they will definitely, their competencies will definitely go up a notch, and hence we must encourage our students to appear for such competitive exams. Thank you, Lalita. Yes, Lalita, you can continue.
Yeah, sorry for that. Next point. So, if we talk about English, preparing for English Olympiad will help them enhance their communication skills, which is a 21st century skill. I mean, not just 21st century skills. It is a very essential skill in even day-to-day life. It always doesn't mean to communicate on a professional level. Even interpersonal, intrapersonal communication is very important. For that, language is very necessary. Next point. And for us, the biggest advantage of this Olympiad now that it is aligned with the goals of NEP. Let's see how. I hope you all remember what are the different goals of NEP. You can keep typing in the chat box. So HOTS, we are promoting hot skills through the Olympiad questions. Then FLN, we have seen NEP, we are developing numeracy and language skills. The international competency, so it is a competency-based education system. Then it promotes critical thinking and problem solving, which are part of 21st century skills. And also it is the collaboration communication skills involved in that. Next slide. So what are the advantages besides NEP of English communication or English Olympiad exam? Not just Olympiad, any competitive exam will have English component. It may be GRE TOEFL, or it may be any other IAS or any other exam. So language part is definitely included in these kind of exams. So let us see one by one what will be the added advantages, or is it the need of the hour? So since it is the lingua franca, as you know, English, it is the professional language, and in like international circumstances, English becomes very important. Next. If they have more vocabulary, they will be able to think also efficiently. Means they will have बोलसे ना एक प्रगल्भता येईल त्यांच्या विचारामध्ये. So they will be able to think in better language and better terms. Next. Definitely they will feel more confident while speaking. They will be able to excel in many competitive exams, like I said before, IAS, IELTS, so on and so forth. Next. They'll be able to read better books. I mean, as teachers and students together, if we read books of higher competencies which are Cambridge aligned, we'll get more exposure to vocabulary, more international topics, and so we will be able to read better books on the next in the next attempt. Okay, next slide. So what are the types of English Olympiads? Cambridge aligned, there are different bodies like Firefish. This happens in MCGM mostly. Then also now there is Bharat Olympiad. SOF everybody knows. So mostly in international schools and ICSE schools, SOF conducts. Then Crest Foundation. All this information you will get it on the internet. Silver Zone, Honeybee, IEOL. So various kinds of Olympiad bodies conduct these exams. So it depends on your school, and if you're like making your student, I mean your child, own child to sit appear for it, then you can contact these specific websites for the details. So now what we have done as Educo, let's see that. Next. So as I said, that there are competencies which are common. These are called common core competencies. Right from grade 1 to grade 8. Now here I have shown for grade 1 to 4. Here you can see it starts with like alphabet order, jumbled letters. So definitely it is application based, but the topics are of, or rather you can say the syllabus is of grade 1 and 2. So there will be collocations of words, spellings, homophones, identify word from pictures, gender, singular, plural, odd one out, animal sounds. So even in scholarship, these kind of questions are asked. Okay, tell the young ones of, then what sounds do they make, where do they stay, habitat, grammar parts, okay, and comprehension. So these are the four main categories of English language, and this is how the gradation of competencies is done from grade 1 to 4. Next one. Similarly, from 5 to 8 now, as the grades go higher, the topics will be more and more intricate. So they will have idioms and phrases. And grade 7, they will have phrasal verbs, analogies, modal verbs, okay, active passive speech, clauses and types, conditional clauses. So by grade 8, all their grammar base should be like very proper. Otherwise, in 9th, 10th onwards, they will not be able to understand and solve those kind of difficult passages and paragraphs, especially which come in the competitive exams. So these are the various competencies that the questions are asked on. Next. So why we have done this? Because there are various resource materials available, such as books, worksheets, newspapers, practice papers, so on and so forth. And directly they give you the questions. Okay, nobody tells you इसके पीछे क्या लॉजिक है. तो हम ये आपको बता रहे हैं कि हमने जो रिसर्च किया है उसके लिए ये कॉम्पिटेंसी का स्टडी हमने किया है. And with that, along with all these resource materials, what we are giving you is our different and unique package. Next slide. सो इट इज़ एज यू नो इड्राही, आपने इड्राही पे यूज़ किया है. हमने लास्ट वेबिनार्स में आपको इंट्रोड्यूस कराया था लेसन प्लान, मतलब होमवर्क मैनेजर ऐप, और कुछ टेस्ट लिंक्स आपने दिए हैं. तो हमारे पास और एक इड्राही रिलेटेड प्रोडक्ट है, ओलंपियाड क्वेश्चन बैंक. So for all grades from 1 to 8, we have generated this question bank for English, Maths and Science subjects. So I will be talking specifically about English, and then we will see Maths and Science. Next slide. What are the advantages of using this Olympiad question bank on Edrahi? First of all, like I said, these are all competency based questions. We have analyzed the competencies from all the different sources and common core as well. Then they are arranged as the difficulty level, like A, B, C, means A will be simple, then उससे ज़्यादा difficult B level, और उससे ज़्यादा जो HOTS level है ज़्यादा करके वो C type question में पूछा जाएगा. जैसे GRE में भी होता है, एक पहला क्वेश्चन सिंपल आता है, अगर वो आप ठीक से कर पाते हो तो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन उससे डिफिकल्ट आएगा और उससे आपके स्कोर में फ़र्क पड़ेगा. उसी मेथोडोलॉजी से हमने ये क्वेश्चन बैंक डिज़ाइन किया है. नेक्स्ट. Also, a unique feature is that the justification of correct answer is given. So once the student gets the answer key, he will come to know if he has given the wrong answer, why he has given the wrong answer, and why this should have been the correct answer. Next. So a lot of images and colorful worksheets are included in this. Picture-based questions are also there. Next. Especially for language, hot skills means a lot of riddles, puzzles, quiz, these type of questions are included, like crosswords, which will enhance their higher order thinking skills. HOTS questions. Next. And of course, the vocabulary used is of international level. So when they solve these questions, automatically their vocabulary will also enhance. And this will help them not only in Olympiad, even in their common school curriculum, okay, or even in their day-to-day language. Next. So in brief, let us see the process of question bank generation. First, As I said, we used competency analysis using spiral curriculum. We will see in brief what is spiral curriculum. I am sure most of you know it. Then we have seen the various types of questions that appear in Olympiad exams, FAQs. And then we also have done one common error analysis for our school students. Next. So in brief, you can have a look. Spiral curriculum means the competencies are arranged in a spiral manner and the grade level increases from bottom to top. So unless the student is thorough with the bottom, the bottom rung of the ladder, he will not be able to excel in the higher level of concepts. So we will see example in English or English grammar particularly how it applies. Next slide. As we know, the basic of every language is the alphabet. Okay, alphabet has 26 letters in English. Then comes their alphabetic order, how they come in the dictionary, what are the vowels and consonants, how to identify them. On that, then the articles a and the, how to base that. फिर उसके बाद articles के बाद आएगा nouns, naming words, adjectives, so on and so forth, parts of speech. फिर singular and plural identification आएगा. Verbs, after verbs will be tenses, after tenses will be clauses. So as you can see, this is a spiral way of going of the English grammar topics. Next. Just see an example like how to progress from alphabet to alphabetic order. We are doing this in our textbooks, but we exactly don't know that we are doing it, right? So in grade 1, they should be able to identify the letter or at least know the shape and structure of the letter that is formed. Like अभी door है तो उसका letter structure कैसा है वो at least उनको पता होना चाहिए. और उसके लिए हम phonics use कर सकते हैं so that they can speak those letters of the alphabet. Then in that the CVC words and blends and digraphs, all this will come. Okay, so for different level or different grammatical level, there are different kinds of strategies. And that is what you will exactly see in our questions, grade-wise test series. Next. Similarly, you can see now stepwise learning. First, identify the words, then form a meaningful sentence using sentence structure. Identify the parts of speech. Then in 5th or 6th, they have to identify the type of sentence, whether it is assertive or interrogative, or then what is the tense. Okay, is it a simple, complex? So these kind of complexities will increase, and each and every question of ours is designed in such a manner so that will help them progress in their overall grammar concepts. Next. For example, now I can show you this actual example from the question papers of Olympiad. So you can have a look in grade 1. So even if you follow Bloom's taxonomy, the knowledge level or comprehension level will be covered in grade 1 and 2. First of all is the underlining of the verb, just identify. Then correct the verb means there will be comprehension. What is the wrong verb? What is the right verb? Then it will be application of knowledge of verb conjugation. Am is are के साथ verbs कैसे conjugate होते हैं. उसके बाद ग्रेड 4-5 में एनालिसिस ऑफ क्वेश्चन कि डायरेक्ट स्पीच इनडायरेक्ट से डायरेक्ट करना है या डायरेक्ट से इनडायरेक्ट करना है, तो उसमें कौन सा एप्लीकेशन होगा वर्ब का, कैसे कॉन्सेप्ट का एप्लीकेशन होगा, व्हाट विल बी द राइट वर्ब. सो ऑल दिस इज फॉर टीचर्स, राइट? सो फॉर अस टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ द स्टूडेंट इज प्रोग्रेसिव एंड स्पेशली वेयर ही इज गोइंग रॉन्ग, that is the main or do you say intention of knowing gradation or spiral curriculum. Next. Along with that, we have also analyzed the type of questions. So you can just have a look. In most of the English competitive exams, these kind of questions are asked. Next. In our school, we had given some of the question papers to our students, Olympiad students, and they had solved the papers and our teachers helped us to identify the common errors. From that research, we have just taken some like common errors and the solution for that. Like if the student is selecting option A instead of option B, what could be he thinking, in what way he is thinking, and how to rectify it. That will come in the hint part. So like I said in the beginning, our justification is a unique feature of our test series. Next. So now what they have to do, like once you take the tests, once the student is appearing for the test, he will solve his grade wide test. Suppose he is in grade 3, he will go for grade 3. If correctly answered, all the C till C level, if he answers correctly, he will go to the next grade level 4, or even if he answers number 4, he can go to grade 5. So he knows that I know 2 grades more. Okay, even if I'm a grade 3 student, मुझे Olympiad grade 5 तक के competencies questions आते हैं. So he'll be more confident. Okay. Otherwise, if not, if he is finding it difficult, he can go back and take a new test of the same level. So it will be a similar concept, but the question set will be different. So this is how we have arranged the test series as per the spiral syllabus and also as per the Olympiad competencies. Okay, so I hope that it is clear now exactly what we have done. And thank you everyone. And I now hand it over to our maths expert, Sadhna ma'am. So thank you once again, everyone.
Thank you, Lalita. And let's move over to maths. My name is Mrs. Sadhna Sahasrabudhe. I am at present working with Educo as a pedagogical consultant and a math lead. Let's go forward. Okay, so I would like to start with this statement: active learning, learning by doing. All of us know Bloom's taxonomy. We have done it in our teachers' training. And the Bloom's taxonomy clearly says that if only knowledge is not enough, but on knowledge you have to build, on knowledge is based your understanding, your application, and then your creativity, which goes to the highest form of learning. Now let's see this proverb. What I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. What I do, I understand. So this statement clearly states how children learn or how children learn actively. So if a child only hears things, then he will forget as soon as he has heard it. If a child sees something, audio presentation, sorry, a video presentation or a visual presentation is there, then he will remember it. But when a child does something on his own, by hand, by practice, then a child will never forget and it will remain in his long-term memory. Let's go ahead. The next sentence also, or the next quotation also reminds us of how a child actually learns. So we remember 1/10 of what we hear, 5/10 of what we see, 7/10 of what we say, and 9/10 of what we do. So teachers concentrate on the 1/10 part of delivering lectures or delivering their instruction, and 5/10 of they contribute to the child's learning by using visual aids, and also audio visual together helps in understanding for the child. But only when the child actually practices something or studies something on his own and learns about his weaknesses and strengths, that is the time that a child learns 9/10 of what he or she is doing. Let's go ahead. So let us see the benefits of Olympiad math exam. Now, this is not only for Olympiad math exam. This generally applies for any competitive exam. So let's see the points one by one. So appearing for a maths exam, a competitive maths exam, and studying for it, it helps build analytical and logical reasoning. Now, what do we mean by analytical thinking? We have heard this term many times in many webinars and even in our training. Analytical thinking is the ability to break down complex material to simple material. That is the meaning of analytical thinking. And analytical thinking is also responsible for us to see trends or to identify or predict trends in any material that we are coming across or any material that we are studying. So math Olympiad exams or any competitive exam helps a child to build analytical thinking and also logical reasoning. Next. It equips children to solve complex problems. Next. It increases the aptitude for maths and also the intelligence. Intelligence because by doing and practicing a lot of mathematics problems, a child neurologically he is fit to take in more knowledge of maths and he can easily start practicing on his own. The only thing is that he should have a foundation knowledge base in order to build on that and go into the depth of the subject of maths. Next. It helps build a mathematical and scientific foundation for the child. You all know how important STEM courses are. And in STEM, maths and science are the main subjects of STEM courses. And STEM helps a child in building good careers as an adult. Next. It puts children in a competitive frame of mind. Competitive frame of mind means what? Where do I stand among all the children that are appearing for the exam? It gives a child an idea of his standing in a population of the same age. Next. It helps develop a love for learning and especially for mathematics. It helps students adjust better to schoolwork and do better in examinations because they have a better understanding of the subject once they start studying on their own and practicing it. It gives children a clearer understanding of achiever mentality and prepares them for life's challenges. So, you know that in the big bad world outside, there are so many students or there are so many candidates for an admission or a job. And hence, a child understands what is the meaning of achiever mentality and what is his place in the competition list. It begins a lifelong thirst for knowledge by encouraging independent thought and curiosity. Now, all of you must have realized, or we have also mentioned before, that even if a child finishes his or her education, formal education, learning never ends, but learning will continue in order for a child or as an adult, for that boy or girl to remain competitive, and hence he must always have an encouraging independent thought and also curiosity in order to be a lifelong learner. Next. Now I have a question for teachers. So you have heard Lalita's explanation, and all of you must be aware that students are appearing for the the competitive exam like Olympiad maths exams. And in most of the schools, we do not conduct training or coaching of any kind for the student. And these Olympiad exams, especially SOF and some other private body exams, they start the exam from a very young age, from a very small, lower standard, like first standard, second standard. So I want to ask all of you a question that if we know the benefits of appearing for the Olympiad maths exam, we know that the benefits will be better as the child goes ahead in his classes, then how can you, how does a child of age 6, 7, or 8, right, nearly and just freshly entered into school, this child does not understand the meaning of benefits of participating in a maths Olympiad. So, how do you make a child willing? How will a child appear for a maths Olympiad exams? How will he gravitate towards this exam? And why at all will the child consider participating? Can anyone, I would like some answers in the chat box to this question. How will a child be willing if he doesn't really understand the benefits of participating in a maths Olympiad? At that point in his life, at that age, what will make the child gravitate towards this exam, or what will make the child participate in this exam? Come on, as teachers, what do you think is the answer to this question? Why do you think a child will be willing? Can I have some answers in the chat box? Yes, teachers? Yes? To enjoy with games and give rewards. Okay, anything else? Why will a student or a child want to appear for the maths Olympiad exam? Now, one reason is because the parents are uh, taking the decision for the child. So, okay, the someone has written, Himani has written that because of the interest. Very good. So, how will that interest be created? May I ask this question now? Yes, teachers and parents will encourage them. Yes, how will teachers encourage them? You are not going to sit down a child and say, okay, appear for this exam by motivating them. How? What will bring motivation? You don't want to give long lectures to the students. They will not understand, they're too young. But what action of yours will actually motivate them or create interest in them? Okay, worksheets. So, what will worksheets do? What will these different worksheets do? How will that child be ready? Puzzles, what they will do? What will they do? Okay, so all these things that you all have written, by giving different worksheet, by giving rewards, by teaching maths in a fun way. Yes, Neha Singh, you're absolutely right. By teaching maths in a fun way, by which the child will be interested in the subject. So at such a young age, a child's decision or a child's willingness to appear for exam like an Olympiad exam is all based on interest, and it is the teacher's job in school, although she's not teaching or she's not coaching the child for Olympiad, but how the teacher teaches in school will decide the willingness of a child to appear for a certain subject. Very good. Thank you, teachers, for your responses. Next. Okay, so are Olympiad exams only for toppers? Go ahead. Not at all. They are not for toppers only, but during the process of the Olympiad exam, toppers can be identified. Okay, so in the beginning, it is not only that toppers should appear or they should participate, but definitely as they go from one level to another, the toppers will be identified through these exams. So Olympiad exams are meant to be beneficial for all learners, including average and the high achievers. Next. These exams are created to cultivate an attitude toward learning, but not to compete. Okay, so an attitude toward learning is imbibed or it is instilled in the child, and it is not in the beginning just to compete. Next. A student, while learning for the exam, will be able to identify his weaknesses. So, as a student studies, then the child can identify his weaknesses. He can also identify his strengths and work on weaknesses to make them into strengths. Next. A student will learn how to learn. So, in today's scenario, everyone is just teaching, teaching, teaching. The school teacher is teaching, and we have no indicator of whether the child has learned what you have just said. After school, many teachers go for tuitions. I don't know what that means, but yes, there also something is told to them, but nobody knows whether the child has actually learned anything. The only way a student learns is when he learns on his own and he learns how to learn. So these exam preparations allows a student to learn how to learn. It is important for every student to just participate because it is important. Participation is important in any exam. Yes, next. Okay. So last time we had seen the meaning of competency. So let me just recap that. Go ahead. So competency is what the child knows and understands of a subject. So in maths, competency is achieved when a child builds capacity for mathematical problem solving. What does that mean? You teach in the class, and when you teach in the class, a child gains some knowledge, right? But that knowledge is not enough it will be forgotten, and it will not remain in long-term memory unless a child builds capacity to understand that knowledge which you have just given them. So this happens, building capacity is what actually procedural knowledge, which means that through different types of practice, through different types of resources, through different types of material, a child gains understanding of the knowledge. And this capacity which is built in maths, it is for mathematical problem solving. Next. Okay, before I go ahead, there is a question in the chat box. Who will teach them to learn how to learn? So again, as teachers, our focus is only teaching. See, there are many things that don't have to be taught to a child. When a child is doing things, is doing enough or practicing enough problems, or he's going through a lot of material, he understands on his own what he knows and what he does not know. So you don't have to teach a child to learn how to learn. Learn how to learn means when you're learning, then only you know how you are learning. If you're not learning on your own, if you're only being taught everything, you're only being told everything, you have no decision capacity of your own. So a child, when he studies or practices homework or any classwork or anything on his own, he gets the insight into his own learning, and it is not a thing to be taught. As a teacher, you can only give them resources, you can only build a good knowledge base, and you can only give them ample practice. Next. Okay, so approach to building competency, you have to build a knowledge base and you also have to build capacity. So that helps the child in appearing for a competitive exam. Next. Okay, now in my previous webinar, I had touched upon this approach, which is given in the NCF, that is the National Curricular Framework of 2023. And it is described Panchadi. This is a 5-step learning process. So if we understand how children learn, then it is easier for us as teachers to plan our teachings. This was the base of our lesson plan webinar, which we took a few weeks ago. So in this, first of all, some knowledge is introduced. Then through some activities like charts or audiovisual aids or discussion, there is a conceptual understanding of that knowledge. And after that, with lots of practice, it becomes your abhyas. Like you have really practiced a lot and now you just know it and you have understood the concept. But in application, that is, you are applying that knowledge to a real life situation. That's when higher learning takes place. And when that application or whatever you have learned, if you explain it to someone else, or if you can tell someone about what you have learned, then that is the highest form of learning, and that is expansion. So even in school, when we teach, if we follow these steps, then students will, by themselves, they will go through this learning process. So learning is not just a one-step thing. It takes steps for actually to learn something in depth. Next. Okay, Lalita had mentioned about spiral curriculum. So let me just again repeat that. Spiral curriculum means competency is taken, and as the child progresses to higher classes, that competency is dealt with in depth as the child grows in age and he goes to higher classes. So here is just one example of maths spiral curriculum in the Olympiad exam. So I'll take the topic of numbers, and you can see how the depth of this topic has increased as we go from class 1 to 6. So in class 1, you have number names, then you have 1-digit and 2-digit numbers. In class 2, you go to 3-digit numbers, you learn expanded form, and then you learn place value. In class 3, you may go you are taught odd and even numbers, decimal numbers, and so on. So by the time you go to class 6, you have approximation, compact form, and Roman numerals. This is very different from what we started as numbers in class 1, but it is all related to the same competency. Next. Now, here is another example of spiral curriculum. If you take multiplication, then in class 2, multiplication table may be introduced. Then in class 3, you have 6 to 10 tables. Then you have some other things in class 4, like how to arrange the numbers according to place value when you're doing vertical multiplication, and then multiplying a 2-digit number by another 2-digit number. And as you go higher, it is 3-digit by 2-digit, and then the variety comes. And even in higher standards, you will have word problems which require the knowledge of multiplication. So spiral curriculum in maths, this is another example of multiplication. Next. So here is a screenshot of a sample paper of the SOF Maths Olympiad. And you can see that the paper is very visual. There are many questions which have diagrams, and then it is very colorful, so it is attractive to the child. And if you see, it's actually not clear because it's a screenshot, but there are a few questions at the end of the paper, which is the achievers section. So the last 5 questions of an Olympiad exam are HOTS questions, higher order thinking skills. So a student who has studied well, he is able to use 2 or 3 concepts on his own. Then these HOTS questions can be easily achieved by that student. Application, actually it is application of the knowledge that the child has learned. And this is how you can identify toppers in Olympiad exam. Next. So as you all know that we have an app called Edrahi app, and we have created a whole question bank for practice for Olympiad exams. And in our question bank, we have dealt with all the competencies required for that class or that grade. And our questions are also spiral. That means it goes from basic knowledge to a little depth of or a little higher order questions. So if you see this example for standard 5 maths, these 3 questions are based on measurement. So you have question like convert 1 kilometer to meters. What is the unit for measuring vegetables? Then you have a word problem. So word problems are always application problems. Next. Then even in standard 6, this is an example of the topic of angles. So here also the questions go from very basic knowledge to application. That is at 3 p.m. the clock, the angle formed between the hour and minute hand is. So this application of what the angle is a higher level question of angles. Next. In 7th standard, I've taken the example of triangles. So in triangles, there are many, many subtopics like area, finding the area, then parts of a triangle, then other terms regarding triangle. So here also you can see that it goes from basic knowledge to what something is called to actually applying that knowledge using a formula, applying that formula to find out certain answers. Next. Then we have standard 8. These questions are from a topic called exponents and powers. So here also there is a spiral. It goes from very simple knowledge, and then it proceeds to conceptual understanding and then application. Next. Okay, thank you for a patient listening. And now I hand over the platform to my colleague, Sanchita Naik Madam. And let's go to science now.
Thank you, Sadhna ma'am, for the beautiful discussion and lot of knowledge about mathematics Olympiad. Now let's focus to science Olympiad. Let me introduce myself. My name is Mrs. Sanchita Naikgaonkar. I am MSc B.Ed set qualified. I was the gold medalist for TYBSc and MSc as well. She is Mrs. Pragati Karwande, my colleague. Her educational background is MSc, MEd. She is NET and CTET qualified, having experience of more than 10 years in the teaching field. Also, she was the ex-HM in Air Force School. Yeah. So we have been speaking about Olympiad examination, types of Olympiad. So can you all type in the chat box the types of Olympiad that we know or that are practiced in our country, India, or in Mumbai specifically, the Olympiad that your schools undertake? Okay. SOF. Okay. Thank you, Jyoti. Any other Olympiads that you all know about? Ignited Mind, correct. So there are a lot of bodies that conduct these Olympiad examinations. ISO, International Science Olympiad, is one of it. International Mathematics Olympiad, English International Olympiad, National Essay Olympiad. We also have Olympiad in drawings, or known as International Drawing Olympiad, IDO. Then there are different bodies that work with Cambridge, in association with Cambridge, like Firefish. Okay. So different bodies have a slight variations in their pattern of Olympiad examination. This variation in the pattern comes in the grades, the duration of the examination, the marks allotted. But the overall syllabus and the overall pattern is similar. Now let us have a look. Yeah. Let us have a look at Firefish Olympiad. It works in association with Cambridge. So Firefish Olympiad works, it has two levels of Olympiad, or two categorization of Olympiad, known as primary Olympiad and secondary Olympiad. The primary Olympiad focuses on grades between 1 to 5. It consists of all three subjects: English, Mathematics, and Science Olympiad. And the middle Olympiad caters from standard 6 to 8. Again, it works in collaboration with Cambridge University Press. So the syllabus is mapped, the competencies of the topics are Cambridge based. So this idea should be clear. Next. So Firefish is mostly taken by our MCGM. The process of the examination. Are we aware what is the process of examination, or what is the entire process of Olympiad? Teachers, can we have your answers in the chat box? Olympiad के लिए process क्या होता है? First step is registration of the students. Without registration, can your students attempt to the examination? No. So first step is registration. After registration, the students get the study material. Irrespective of the board, students को study material मिलता है. Then the students prepare. Then we have examinations, which is mostly of 2 rounds. Correct. Which is mostly of 2 rounds. Round 1, round 2, level 1, level 2. We'll come to it. And then the qualified students in the second round are given the certificates and rewards. Yeah, definitely. Hall ticket will come in between. Definitely. Before examination. So this is the overall process of Olympiad examination, right from registration to certification. Okay. Next, please. Yeah. So when it comes to rounds of competition, for most of the examination, for most of the bodies, it has 2 rounds. Okay, we'll take example here. So the first round is known as preliminary round, also known as city round. And the next round is known as final round or national round. So preliminary round for Firefish examination is conducted in December. So definitely the registration is before that. So teachers need to keep their eyes on, depending on the school and the body of the Olympiad. Okay. So preliminary round is usually conducted in December and national round is usually conducted in March. Then the duration of the examination. The duration of the examination differs here. For grades 1 and 2, for city round, it is for 40 minutes. Grades 3 and 4, it is for 45 minutes. And grades 5 to 8, it is for 55 minutes. Then the duration of national round slightly varies from the city round. Okay. For national round, the grades 1 and 2 have it for 35 minutes. Grades 3 and 4 have it for 40 minutes, and grades 5 to 8 have it for 50 minutes. So there is slight variation in the duration grade-wise depending on the body that is conducting the Olympiad examination. So this I have spoken about firefish. This example is taken about firefish. We'll see for one more example. Yeah, now coming to SOF. SOF का full form क्या है teachers? What is the full form of SOF? What is the full form of SOF? Can we have it in the chat box? Correct. Science Foundation. Science Olympiad Foundation. Correct, correct. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Sadhna ma'am. Thank you, Reena. Okay. So in case of SOF examination as well, we have two rounds, first level and second level. So first level is what the city level is and the second level is national level. So SOF ka first level examination usually happens in the month of November and December. And the second level happens in the month of January. So those students who are qualified for level 1, they are only eligible for level 2 examination. Also, one more thing for science subject here. The level 2 of SOF is from grade 3 onwards, grade 3 to grade 12. For grade 1 and grade 2 students, we just have level 1. So यहाँ पे देखो variation है. Okay. Yeah. Next, please. So coming to the tips for preparation in general, though, what tips or what information is required to prepare for Olympiad examination? First is time management. Without time management, can the students appear for competitive examination? The answer is definitely no. Time management is very important first and foremost. Timing your questions. ये question इतने time में solve होना चाहिए. Identifying the concepts. Now here, what do we understand by identify concepts or identifying the concepts when it comes to Science Olympiad? Teachers, what do we understand here? Identifying the concepts. Can we have your reply in the chat boxes? Can we have your reply in the chat box? What do we understand by identifying the concept? What to study? Okay. Can we say it is understanding the core idea or the core topic or the core key of that concept? That is identifying the concept. Can we have some examples from your side? Can we have some examples? Concepts like living, non-living, correct. Growth, okay. Correct. Yeah. Practice time-bound questions or practice time-bound question paper. इसका मतलब क्या है? Correct. Patterns in maths. Who will identify? Students or tutor? So definitely students it guidance with teacher. Students खुद से नहीं कर पाए तो टीचर्स उनको हेल्प कर सकते हैं आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए कॉन्सेप्ट. या डेफिनेटली इट इज स्टूडेंट्स, बट जो स्टूडेंट्स खुद से नहीं कर पाए डेफिनेटली टीचर्स कैन गाइड देम. नेक्स्ट, टाइम बाउंड प्रैक्टिस टाइम बाउंड क्वेश्चंस और प्रैक्टिस टाइम बाउंड क्वेश्चन पेपर्स. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब क्या है? थैंक यू टीचर्स फॉर रिप्लाइंग द चैट बॉक्स. Solving the question paper by timing it. This, for example, solving a grade 1 science question paper in 50 minutes or solving a grade 2 science Olympiad question paper within 45 minutes. Okay, that is timing the question paper. Then setting smart goals. Before moving on to smart, what are goals, teachers? Goals क्या होते हैं? Correct. Thank you, Urmila ji. What are goals, targets, tasks? How much time can be given to each question depends on the body and the total duration of the question paper and the marks allotted for the entire question paper. Like I have shown you, there are different bodies those conduct Olympiad examination. So that research needs to be done. Learning outcomes, correct. Targets, learning outcomes, correct. Then what are SMART goals? Goals का मतलब पता चला, targets, task. What are SMART goals? So SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So your goals should be SMART goals. मतलब वो specific होने चाहिए, measurable होने चाहिए. Measurable का मतलब क्या होता है? Measurable का मतलब क्या होता है? What are measurable goals? Achieve more marks. Marks. Okay. Measurable goals का मतलब होता है that you are able to track. The metrics that you are able to track, you are able to evaluate. Thank you. Very good. Mrs. Afrin, very good. Yeah. Then what are achievable goals? Achievable goals, those are attainable, those you can do, those you are able to complete in the given time or available time, you are able to achieve it. And time bound is by timing within the time limit. Your goal should not go to infinity. It needs to be time bound. Yeah. Complete the given task within time. Correct. Okay, so setting SMART goals for Olympiad examination is important. Next slide, please. How to make learning fun in science. Hands-on learning, hands-on experience by experimentation, doing discovery learning. Now, what is discovery learning, teacher? What is discovery learning, teachers? Discovery learning मतलब क्या होता है? Discovery learning, research work, explore, absolutely correct. Discovery learning is a student-centered approach practiced in classroom, wherein the students do experimentation, investigation, they do problem solving, in a way they discover and learn, explore and learn, correct, learning by doing, absolutely correct. Then making teaching aids. So do you agree, teachers, that a lot of teaching aids can be done through these discovery learning or experimentations in class? Yes? Yes. Can we have some examples of it? कौन से teaching aids कर सकते हैं हम लोग classroom में through students? Because we usually do it in our school. Self-study, okay. Teaching aids. What all teaching aids can be done? Flashcards, absolute correct example. Who prepares teaching aids? So usually teaching aids are prepared by teachers, but there are ways of making the teaching aids from students as well, like science models, puzzles, absolutely correct. Flow charts, correct. So through these different ways of learning, teaching aids can be done or prepared by students as well. Puppets, correct. Then along with this, we have different online learning tools also available for Olympiad preparation. Khan Academy, and some of those are available. YouTube, Khan Academy. Yeah. Next. Okay. Can we have some benefits? Can we have some benefits of Science Olympiad examination? Do you think, first of all, it is beneficial students को देना चाहिए? अगर yes, then what are the benefits of Science Olympiad examination? Yes, okay. Jyoti agrees. Arif Khatri agrees. Reena agrees. Okay. Then what are the benefits of appearing for Science Olympiad examination? Hence focus, correct. And they learn the cause and effect, conceptual knowledge. It enhances critical thinking among the students. Horn's concept of death of concept, correct. Increases interest in science courses, correct. Learn more about the world around them, absolutely correct. So it clarifies the concepts, the understanding. It takes them more towards the problem solving attitude, analytical thinking, logical thinking. The students are ready to face the real life challenges. है कि नहीं? Yeah, correct. Students get experience in giving examination, analytical thinking, absolutely correct. Global challenges, very nice. The students are able to face the global challenges. That is, they are ready to face the real life challenges. Can you all mention one or two global challenges? Global warming, climate conditions, yes, climate change, correct. Also, the students are ready for the STEM courses that they can take ahead. So for STEM courses, the base of mathematics and science is very important. So in a way, science and mathematics Olympiad prepares the students for these examinations as well, these courses as well. Okay, so all the benefits are covered on the slide that we have spoken about. Yeah. Thank you, teachers, for your responses. Next slide, please. Okay. So Lalita madam and Sadhna madam have spoken about spiral curriculum. Again, we are speaking about it. So even in science syllabus also of Olympiad, we see the syllabus is spirally curriculized, or the syllabus is in the spiral curriculum format. Now, what is spiral curriculum format? What is spiral curriculum format? Spiral curriculum mean it is cyclical. The same topic is repeated in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. But yes, it moves from easy to hard. The complexity increases, the level deepens. For example, mathematics का example ले लो. Grade 1 में you all have, students have 1 digit addition. Grade 2 में they have 2 digit with carry forward. Grade 3 में 3 digit, 4 digit and so on. इंग्लिश मैथमेटिक्स का एग्जांपल हो गया. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू साइंस नाउ. साइंस का एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं. एग्जांपल ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस. इन लोअर लेवल दे जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड what is photosynthesis. Plants prepare their own food. Then as they move to higher grades, they understand the mechanism, and when they move to higher grades, then the chemical reactions, the types of sugars come into the pictures. Okay, this is the basic meaning of spiral curriculum. So your syllabus is in this format for most of the bodies. Irrespective of the body, आपका ज्यादा से ज्यादा syllabus science का spiral curriculum के format में है. Next slide, please. So spiral curriculum is based on 3 principles. First is cyclical learning, जो कि repeat होता है. Grade 1 में भी, grade 2 में भी, grade 3 में भी, and so on. Increases in depth और increasing depth मतलब क्या, complexity बढ़ती जाती है grade wise. Learning by building on prior knowledge. Is it possible to directly learn the content or directly learn the topic in grade 8 without having the basic knowledge of it in the previous years? Definitely not. Okay. So here in spiral curriculum, learning is based on previous knowledge. Next slide, please. Okay. So this is the example of spiral curriculum in science. Look at the grades. Grade 3, this is shown from grade 3 onwards. Grade 3 to grade 8. The units in which the topic is. And here, the topic is living and non-living things. The human body and its needs. So यहाँ पे basically human body कौन से topic में covered हो रही है वो दिया है from grade 3 to grade 8. ह्यूमन बॉडी ये टॉपिक है. एट लोअर लेवल्स ह्यूमन बॉडी के बारे में क्या पूछते हैं, क्या आता है. Then as we move grade wise, the complexity also increases. In grade 1, it is present in living and non-living things. In grade 4, it is present in organ system. In grade 5, health and safety. In grade 6, the world of living. In grade 7, the world of living again. Here the nutrition comes into picture, the respiratory part. And grade 8, the world of living, and here the cell structure, function of cell, reproduction, all those part comes into the picture. But basically deal kya kar rahe hai, human body. Let's have a deep knowledge about it in the next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now here, the human body is the topic or the competency. Already Sadhna ma'am has discussed about competency, what are competency. So competency could be a topic Competency could be a topic in science. So here the competency is human body. This competency is covered from grade 1 to grade 8. In which topic or chapter these competencies are covered, that is given. For class 1, grade 1, human body is covered in human being and their needs. In grade 2, it is covered in human body. In grade 3, it is covered in human body. In grade 4, it is covered in food and digestion. In grade 5, it is covered in human body and health. In grade 6, in the life processes and so on. So initially the students understand just about the initially the students understand just about the organs and sense organs or the basic parts of the body. Then as we move to higher grades, the complexity increases, then the organ systems comes into the pictures. Then as we move to more higher grades, 6, 7 and 8, the life processes, the working of those systems comes, the linkage of the systems, and at the end, we have how the entire organism works or the functioning of the entire organism. Now I request my colleague Pragati Karvande to take the discussion further from here. Yes, Pragati, you may start. Pragati madam, kindly unmute.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Pragati,
now audible.
you're audible.
Okay. So thank you so much, Sanchita ma'am. So as we have already mentioned about the spiral curriculum, in which the topic is introduced at basic level and again revisited with greater depth and complexity. So we have already seen the example of human body. So our EdRahi app, the questions that are made on EdRahi app show this progression effectively. Let's see how. Next. So these are the questions on human body from class 1 to class 8. As we have already mentioned, these questions are based on the pattern of A, B, C. A is easy, B moderate, and C are the achiever sections or HOTS. So you can see here in class 1, the questions which are made, or class 1 to 3, the questions which are made, they are basically based on the sense organ. What are sense organ, the recognition, the functions, and then as you progress to question number C of the same class, the complexity increases. Next. So when in grade 4 and 5, the organs and organ systems are introduced, the questions are also made accordingly. Which body system is responsible for breaking down food and into nutrients? So here we are talking about the digestive system and how digestion occurs. Similarly, when you progress to further grades, grade 7, where the respiration comes into being, what is respiration, then what is aerobic respiration, how it is helpful. So likewise in our EdRahi app, at each level, the questions, the complexity of the questions increases. Next. So here you can see in class 8, it is basically focusing upon a type of a organ system. What is pituitary gland? Also, it focuses on the basic concepts of puberty. So the complexity or the knowledge is increasing grade wise also and in question also. ABC pattern. Next. Similarly, we have another example of the concept air. So this air is also introduced from class 1 to class 8. But as we progress through the grades, the coverage or the air is elaborated more. Earlier, it is just the air, what are the uses. But as we go further to the grades, properties of air is introduced in the syllabus. Then what is air pollution? How is this air pollution affect the climate change and global warming? Next. So the questions that we have made in the EdRahi app also follow this pattern. So initially in class 1, we ask what is air made up of, what is the color of air. Then when we look at the questions in class 4, the questions are based on what are the contributing to air pollution, how polluted air is different from clean air. So these questions are made accordingly in our EdRahi app. Next. Further, if we see the questions of higher grades, more problem solving questions are based on problem solving, real life challenges and examples. So again, that air which was introduced in class 1 is what it is, a mixture of gases. In class 8, how will you solve the problem of global warming, what air pollution? So these kind of questions have been made in our EdRahi app. So they are very interesting and it will be motivating for the students to solve these questions and appear for the SOF exams. Next, similarly, the questions are made on plants also. So ABC questions, as you can see here. Why do we water plants? Then the next question is based on a figure. The third question is a riddle kind. I am a part of a living thing. I can be of different colors. Who am I? Next. So in the higher grades, again, when you have introduced plants in lower grades, the process is associated with plant growth, transpiration, photosynthesis. Accordingly, the questions are framed in the EdRahi app for the students. Next. So here is the question paper of Science Olympiad Foundation Science paper. I would request Sanchita ma'am to give her insights on this and explain about the question paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Pragati madam. Very well explained about the EdRahi platform. So EdRahi is a platform wherein you will get a lot of content about Olympiad examination for science, mathematics, and English as well. So all the questions are based on competency. It is in the format of spiral curriculum from grade 1 to grade 8, and all the questions are based on ABC format, taking in mind the competencies. Okay, now let's focus to this question paper. This is a sample paper of SOF Olympiad belonging to grade 1. So if you see the questions over here, these questions exactly match with our content of Olympiad, Science Olympiad content belonging on the EdRahi platform. Some questions are figure-based, some are not figure-based. And when we come towards the end, the last section is Achievers section. Achievers sections has questions belonging to HOTS, higher level thinking order. So in our content as well, you will get the questions, the C-type questions, which are HOTS question. So each competencies has 3 questions, A type, B type, and C type. So A type is easy, B type is moderate, and C type is HOTS question. So you can map these sample papers with our content and see. It is exactly in format and it is taken in mind, prepared by taking in mind all the types of Olympiad bodies. Okay. And next. So here I have a list of gold medalists of Firefish. So irrespective of the school, it may be an international school, it may be a state board school, or it may be a school belonging to MCGM. सारे students कर सकते हैं. ओके यहाँ पे ग्रेड 6 के बच्चे हैं, 7 के बच्चे हैं और 8 के बच्चे हैं. ये सभी हमारे फायरफिश के गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट हैं. Now I hand it over to Mrs. Pooja Ranade madam to take it further from here.
Yeah. Thank you to all the lead trainers of English, Maths, and Science. Like everyone is talking about EdRahi, and from our first webinar, we are giving pre-tests and post-tests to all the participants. We are giving pre-work to all the participants. Similarly, what we have is we have English, Maths, Science Olympiad test series to offer all the participants. If you have students from your school who register for Olympiad, as a teacher, it becomes very difficult for all of us to conduct extra classes after school or to guide them ongoing class, because if the class strength is of 30 students, all students will not appear for Olympiad exams, and it is difficult for us or to the HM or to the teacher to guide them after school. Sometimes some schools do have extra classes, but some schools where there is no extra coaching provided, and the parents, if they still ask for, if we have registered our students for Olympiad, what we can do, where we should go. So the one of the participant had also asked in the chat box, rural area में कैसे करना है इसको. So first of all, a school's HM has to select a Olympiad body जहां से आप कोलैबोरेट करोगे. आपको आपके स्कूल के लिए क्या चाहिए, भारत ओलंपियाड चाहिए, एसओएफ चाहिए, फायर फिश चाहिए, या कोई और टाइप का ओलंपियाड बॉडी जो ओलंपियाड कंडक्ट करता है अक्रॉस इंडिया, वो आपको सिलेक्ट करना है सबसे पहले. दूसरा, उसका फीस, उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन डिटेल्स वो ओलंपियाड के वेबसाइट के थ्रू आपको मिल जाएगा. वी आर नॉट द ओलंपियाड बॉडी हु कंडक्ट्स कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स. हम ओलंपियाड के लिए एग्जाम्स कंडक्ट नहीं करते. जो एग्जाम्स का सिलेबस है उसके लिए हम टेस्ट सीरीज बनाते हैं, और बच्चों को और टीचर्स को आप कोई भी टाइप का ओलंपियाड दे दो, उसके लिए हम प्रिपेयर करने में मदद करते हैं. सो वी आर द फैसिलिटेटर्स. एडुको इज अ फैसिलिटेटर फॉर ऑल द स्कूल्स, all HMs, all the teachers, to help the teachers and students to get better prepared for Olympiad. Compared to what they are doing in their regular studies, Olympiad का syllabus थोड़ा अलग होता है. तो उसके लिए बच्चों से क्या प्रिपेयर करवा के लेना है, उसके लिए हमारे पास ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल्स रेडी है इंग्लिश मैथ साइंस के, एंड दीज ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल्स आर tried and tested by all the MCGM teachers. बृहन मुंबई महानगर पालिका के 1180 स्कूल्स है, 8 वार्ड टू टी वार्ड 24 वार्ड्स है. ये सारे वार्ड्स में हम लोग ट्रेनिंग करके, ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड करके, सिटी राउंड और नेशनल राउंड, दो तरीके के एग्जाम्स होते हैं ओलंपियाड के, वहां पे हम लोगों ने अच्छा रिजल्ट बीएमसी को देके ऑलरेडी ये प्रूव किया है कि ये ट्रेनिंग से बच्चों को और टीचर्स को बहुत हेल्प होती है. सो देन वी थॉट ऑफ दीज वेबिनार ऑडियंस कि हम उनके लिए एक ओलंपियाड का सेशन करें जिनमें उनको अवेयरनेस हो ओलंपियाड एग्जाम्स कैसे होते हैं, कौन कंडक्ट करता है, क्या स्टडी मटेरियल प्रोवाइड होता है, और उसके लिए अगर सहायता की जरूरत टीचर्स या एचएम या बच्चों को है तो कौन उनको सपोर्ट करेगा. ठीक है. सो इफ यू सी ओलंपियाड रिजल्ट्स ऑफ एमसीजीएम, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. This is a feedback from one of the MCGM officer that they sent on our WhatsApp groups के इस तरीके से बच्चों ने रजिस्टर किया था बीएमसी में. मोर देन 5000 6000 बच्चे, उससे भी ऊपर एक पर्टिकुलर ग्रेड के लिए बैठते हैं. ये एग्जाम सिर्फ और सिर्फ इंग्लिश मीडियम के बच्चों के लिए होता है. मराठी मीडियम, हिंदी मीडियम के बच्चे जो सेमी इंग्लिश में पढ़ते हैं वो अपियर कर सकते हैं एक पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट के लिए. ठीक है. सो मेनी टाइम्स द टीचर कीप्स आस्किंग क्वेश्चन कि ये सारे मीडियम्स के लिए है क्या. एज ऑफ नाउ व्हाट आई नो इज दिस इज ओनली फॉर द इंग्लिश मीडियम स्टूडेंट्स. ठीक है. इतने बच्चे एमसीजीएम के इंग्लिश मैथ साइंस सब्जेक्ट के लिए बैठे हैं, उन्होंने इतना एग्जाम्स दिया है, और उनका नेशनल सिटी राउंड पे कैसा सिलेक्शन हुआ है, उनको कैसे गोल्ड मेडल्स मिले हैं. हमारे ईओ है राजेश कंकार सर, उन्होंने कैसे अप्रिशिएट किया है एजुको को, ये हमने ये मैसेजेस में आपको दिखाया है. 3 टाइप ऑफ मेडल्स होते हैं, गोल्ड मेडल होता है, सिल्वर होता है और ब्रॉन्ज होता है. सो वो एमसीजीएम के स्टूडेंट्स को ये ट्रेनिंग्स थ्रू और ये टेस्ट सीरीज थ्रू मिला है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. This is the overall result from 2017-18 to 2022-23. Last year there was no Olympiad from MCGM. ये नहीं हुआ था last year. तो first year when they started Olympiad, there were no students selected for national round. Then we started teachers training for Olympiad in 2018-19 academic year, and the number of students selected for English, Math, Science were 150. After that 345. Then there was again a gap. After that 350, and last year 572 students from English, Math, Science subjects across all MCGM schools were selected for the final round. Next slide. This is the overall result of subject wise how they have got the medals. 715 students English के लिए appear हुए थे, मैथ्स के लिए 1033 एंड साइंस के लिए 1033, मैथ्स के लिए 685. उसमें से बच्चे कितने नेशनल राउंड के लिए क्वालिफाई हुए, कितने लोगों को गोल्ड मेडल मिला, कितने को सिल्वर, कितने लोगों को ब्रॉन्ज मेडल और कैश प्राइज, उसका ये डेटा है. एक स्नैपशॉट में आपको दिखाया है. दिस इज ओनली फॉर एमसीजीएम स्कूल्स. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. We congratulated them. They really did a good job. उनको कोई coaching नहीं मिलती है. After school उनको कोई नहीं पढ़ाता है. We only train the teachers and we take their queries, we take their training sessions and we provide them study material. उनको टेक्स्ट बुक ओलंपियाड बॉडी से आता है. एमसीजीएम के लिए फायर फिश उन्होंने सिलेक्ट किया है. नेक्स्ट, आप ईमेल करके हमको बता सकते हैं आपके स्कूल ने कौन सा ये है सिलेक्ट किया हुआ है ओलंपियाड, और आप कोई भी तरह की हेल्प अगर चाहिए तो हमको बता सकते हैं. अकॉर्डिंगली वी विल हेल्प यू टू डिजाइन अ मॉड्यूल फॉर based on the curriculum for that Olympiad exam and we will provide test series. Next slide. तो जनरली ये फ्लो होता है एड्यूको का. हम एंट्रेंस एग्जाम लेते हैं आपके स्कूल के बच्चों के लिए, सिलेक्शन ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स होता है, देन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ टेक्स्ट बुक होता है. ये ओलंपियाड बॉडी से होता है, जो ओलंपियाड का जहाँ पे आपने रजिस्टर किया है. देन वर्चुअल ट्रेनिंग सेशंस हम एमसीजीएम स्कूल्स के लिए लेते हैं. जो स्कूल्स इंटरेस्टेड है, मैंने ईमेल आईडी दिया है, आप ईमेल कर सकते हैं, हम आपको भी लिंक भेजेंगे. एड्राही टेस्ट सीरीज ऑन व्हाट्सएप, जो भी हम व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप क्रिएट करते हैं उस पे हम एड्राही के टेस्ट सीरीज देते हैं, इंग्लिश, मैथ्स और साइंस के ग्रेड 1 to 8 के. There are 2 training sessions planned, one before the city round and we set a prelim paper also, customized it as per the curriculum for your Olympiad body, and then we share the answer key as well. And if the students are appearing for the exam on our Edrahi platform, they get instant result through the Excel sheet. We send it to the HM of the school. ठीक है. Then we take paper analysis session, जो भी हमने पेपर दिया है उसका क्वेश्चन आंसर सॉल्यूशन हम देते हैं. And then we take a second set of prelim before the national round. This is the flow of Educo's Olympiad Odyssey. Okay, Educo is here to help students and teachers. Let's hear it from our lead trainers or of Olympiad. जैसे अभी आपने सुना है वैसे ही हम आगे भी सब्जेक्ट स्पेसिफिक जो भी है इंग्लिश, मैथ, साइंस का, वो हम हमारे लीड ट्रेनर्स से फर्दर सेशंस में डिटेलिंग ऑफ करिकुलम देखेंगे. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. फाइनल वीक्स में ऐसा ही होता है हाल, बच्चों का भी, टीचर्स का भी. क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, हाउ टू गो अबाउट इट, वी डोंट नो. सो एड्यूको इज हियर, वी आर देयर टू सपोर्ट यू एज पर योर करिकुलम and the way your students are appearing for the Olympiad exam. Next slide. How Edrahi supports, we will have a quick demonstration of that. There are 2 things. One is we will share PDF files and second thing is we will share the actual login details. Okay, next slide. It's a web platform, you don't have to download the app. हमारे पास टोटल अगर आप देखें इंग्लिश, मैथ, साइंस का तो 1800 क्वेश्चंस है, 120 लिंक्स है. हर एक ग्रेड के लिए, हर एक सब्जेक्ट के लिए 75 सेट्स का क्वेश्चंस का सेट रेडी है. अगर हम पूरा इंग्लिश, मैथ, साइंस का पैकेज ले तो 225 होते हैं इंग्लिश, मैथ, साइंस के लिए. सो ये डिटेल्स आपको सारे भेज दिए जाएंगे. आपको जो ईमेल आईडी दिया है आप उसके ऊपर कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. इसमें आपको क्या मिलेगा, आंसर की मिलेगी और हिंट्स एंड सॉल्यूशंस मिलेंगे. ठीक है. सो एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन में आपको दिखा देती हूँ. थैंक यू फॉर अटेंडिंग एड्यूकोज ओलंपियाड ओडिसी वेबिनार. नाउ प्रगति मैडम विल शेयर अ स्लाइड फॉर curate curiosity. I request Shabir sir to stop the presentation. Pragati ma'am, can you please share the PDF? Thank you. So this is how our tests look like. We have labeled it grade 1, subject science, type of exam Olympiad, and the sets are there. ABC is set 1, set 2, set 3. So इस तरीके के questions. Can everyone see the screen? आपको screen पे questions दिख रहे हैं? All participants can see the screen. Can we
Yes.
have some responses in the chat box? Yes. So this is how we have made it subject wise. Can you maximize this, Pragati madam? ऊपर ऊपर मिनिमाइज के बाजू वाला बटन. Yes. So next, go down. There are set of questions with images, so it becomes very easy for the student to answer the questions. For English, Lalita madam. For maths, Sanchita madam and Sadhna madam. For science, Sadaf madam, Pragati madam. They have worked really hard to make these question banks. This is how you get the answer key, hint and solution. We will send a sample PDF sheet in the Zoom chat and also we will share the test links. Now let us quickly see the login. आपको app.edrahi.com ऐसे टाइप करना है. आपको आपका मोबाइल नंबर टाइप करना है, देन आपको 4 डिजिट ओटीपी आएगा, वो आपको टाइप करना है. आफ्टर दैट यू विल सी दिस स्क्रीन. आपको अग्री करना है. नेक्स्ट इज, जैसे हमने आपको पीडीएफ दिखाया है वैसे आपको स्क्रीन पे क्वेश्चंस दिख जाएंगे. You just have to select the answer, read the question, select the answer, go to the next one. Thank you, Shabi sir. There is a feedback form in the Zoom chat. Please fill the feedback form. It becomes very easy for us to track the data and generate the certificate. And your genuine feedback really are valuable. And we go through all the feedbacks that you are giving. We make sure that all the suggestions are implemented in the next webinar. Select it and show the dashboard. This is how we select the answer, and I will show you how you get a score. You can select random answers so that we reach to the last question and click the submit button. There are 5 questions, 10 similar set of scholarship examination we have. If your students are registered for scholarship competitive exam, we have a test series for that. For International Finance Olympiad grade 9 students, we have sets ready. For NMMS grade 8, we have the test series ready. We have the training modules. You can reach out to us for any kind of content support, for lesson plans, for webinar support. If you want physical sessions in your school, you can reach out to us on the given email ID. If you submit the test, you get the score like this. Go down. Here you get an answer key. Go down. And also at the end of this page, you also get a justification why this answer is correct and why other answers are wrong. नीचे आपको दिख रहा है justification सबको. Antecedents are basis. वैसे आपको आपके बच्चों को भी ये दिखेगा कि ये आंसर सही क्यों है और बाकी आंसर्स गलत क्यों है. Can we have digital claps, huge round of applause for the EduCo's lead trainers who have really worked hard to make these question banks? Thank you all the participants. We hope today's session was informative and helpful to clarify all your doubts related to competitive exam. We have just covered one category today, that is Olympiad. We have similar kind of test series for scholarship, NMMS, IFO. If you have any queries, you can put it in the chat box. Pragati, go to download report and we can show them how the PDF. Thank you for conducting such informative session. Thank you, madam. Thank you, Chetna, madam. We can unmute the participants. Please raise your hand. You can ask queries. You can share your feedback. We would like to record it live. Anyone who's interested to give feedback, please raise your hand. Ask queries if you have any. Yes, this is how you will be able to see it. If you register, if you take the complete package for the entire school from grade 1 to 8, the HM gets a login and a password and they will be able to see के साल भर में कितने बच्चों ने इस पे एग्जाम्स दिए हैं and you will be able to generate a report on a fingertip. इतना ही आपके लिए easy हो जाएगा. Once we get an email from your school, any teacher or HM, we will be able to reach out to them. Training coordinator at educoindia.in is my email ID. I have already given it in the chat box. Many mails I have got for certificate request. I'll be more than happy if I get some request on mail apart from certificate issue request. If no queries, we will end today's session. Thank you everyone. Thank you all the participants for joining today's webinar. Thank you.